Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to talk about the healing touch of Jesus. At Nebraska basketball games, they have a halftime game for entertainment. The game is where a person is blindfolded and they have 1 minute to find an envelope on the basketball court with money inside. Now, if they had to do it on their own, they would never find the envelope. They have to rely on the voice of the crowd. But in my experience, even the crowd isn't very helpful. What they really need is a guide to bring them to the prize. The same is even more true for the spiritually blind to find salvation. Let's finish our story of the blind man who was healed by Jesus to see why. This is what John records in John chapter 9, beginning in verse 8. The neighbors and those who had seen him before as a beggar were saying, "Is this not the man who used to sit and beg?" Some said, "It is he." Others said, "No, but he is like him." He kept saying, "I am the man." So they said to him, "Then how were your eyes opened?" He answered, "The man called Jesus made mud and anointed my eyes and said to me, 'Go to Siloam and wash.' So I went and washed and received my sight." They said to him, "Where is he?" He said, "I do not know." It seems like we've seen this before, and we have. Jesus heals the crippled man back in John chapter 5. The crowds notice, and they want to know how and who healed him. This man knew it was Jesus, but like the crippled man, he did not know where Jesus had gone. The crowds are shocked. They recognize the blind man. Some recognize this is a miracle. Others think it's just a case of mistaken identity. But he shuts them down. He shuts down the debate. He says, "I am that man. It was Jesus who healed me." This story is a picture of the reality of our spiritual condition and the need for a Savior. Just like the person who searches blindly on the court for money, so too are we in our spiritual blindness. John writes that people love the darkness. Well, Jesus is the light, but they aren't looking for him. Paul writes in Romans chapter 3 that no one seeks after God. They are blind. They need someone to help irritate their condition, just like Jesus did with the mud in the man's eyes. People are blind in their sin. They can't see Jesus without his help. They cannot be spiritually healed without the touch of Jesus. If Jesus didn't come to us, we would never seek him or find him. Jesus found the blind man. He asked him to obey, and he did. And what was the result? He was healed. When Jesus comes to us, he asks us to believe in him. He asks us to receive that gospel. This belief results in spiritual life. Today, if you're still in the darkness of your sin, listen to Jesus calling. He is here. He is calling out to you today to believe. I encourage you, do so today. If you've been healed by Jesus, I encourage you, be a mouthpiece for our Savior. Share the good news of what Jesus Christ has done and what he will do for them. The world is in need of Jesus. Will you bring him to them?